of their money-grabbing speed. And we love them just as much, and we have to always remember that. And we also love the people who work here. We love you who wear the orange vest that say pro-choice school justice.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Alejandro Rodriguez with LifeSite News.
And I'm Danielle Zuccaro.
And we're right here in front of a Planned Parenthood protest preceding the March for Life event that's supposed to take place tomorrow in honor of the 49th anniversary of Roe v. Wade. And Danielle, what's crazy about this could very well be the last Roe v. Wade, last year that Roe v. Wade will be law in our country, and which is amazing. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so incredibly exciting. We're kind of on the cusp of like a, and potentially a new wave in the pro-life movement, we could say. So yeah, people are out here today kind of with the anticipation, I think, that maybe this will be the last one. We'll have to see. So
yeah, but even if Roe v. Wade is overturned this year, our work is not done yet. We still have to continue sidewalk counseling, still consulting with women, because even though abortion is not federally funded after Roe v. Wade is overturned, it's still taken back to the state level, and the states still have the power to give funding to these abortion mills like Planned Parenthood. So, I mean, our work isn't done, of course, but it will be a big step towards a major victory for the pro-life movement, and we could very well save so much more lives as a consequence of the overturning of Roe v. Wade. So it's really exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, no, definitely. And that's why we're out here today. We're in front of one of the bigger Planned Parenthoods in D.C., and they're having a rally behind us with a bunch of speakers, pro-life speakers. And I'd like to introduce you to our team. For those of you who are watching, we have quite a number of us LifeSite folks out here today. So we have Alejandro and myself. We also have our newest member, Anne Marie.
Oh, it's great to be here. This is the first. I've always wanted to do the march. I live quite a ways away, but a lot of people here are from all far corners of the country, so it's so exciting to see. I'm so glad to be here.
Yes, and we're happy to have you as a new part of our LifeSite team. And Jim Hale, our renowned videographer.
Hey guys, Jim Hale here. I got my camera. I'm working today with our new Health Issues and Answers correspondent, Anne Marie Schieber. We're so honored to have you join our team, Anne Marie. We've already been out here working today, and this is incredible, isn't it? It's rainy, it's cold, it's a horrible day, but look at all these people here. We just talked to a big group from Lafayette, Louisiana, and this movement will not be stopped, Danielle. I think that's the thing, just coming out here and seeing these dedicated pro-life warriors. We have Reverend Pat Mahoney, Dr. Michael New, Priests for Life are here. And as Dr. New said, and you and Alejandro were talking about, our work has just begun, even if we do overturn Roe v. Wade, because this clinic will continue dismembering, slaughtering unborn children in the womb, no matter what. So we have to keep coming out here to these sidewalks, to these places. But we need to bring in Brother Nate here. Come on.
Come on over, Nate. Nate is our new social media person on our marketing team. How are you doing, Nate? Have you been to the march before?
I have, yes. And, I'm so excited and blessed to be here today. I always am just astounded by the younger generation that we have out here. We're facing some pretty dark and some would say scary times in our history right now. So seeing, a young generation out here fighting for moral and just causes, it gives me some hope and some optimism for our future.
No, definitely. And I think we'll see tomorrow again hundreds of thousands of young people. So it'll be very, very exciting to see all those people. And I love how people always bear the worst elements to be out here for such a great cause. So I would like to bring in one of our friends over here. He's the man who runs the pro-life license plates. Why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do?
It's Larry Surignano. It's one of those long Irish names. Tough. I also do the pro-life flag, so we're trying to promote that. It's on the podium. The Choose Life license plates are on the road now in 34 states and D.C. We raise about $2.5 million a year to help promote adoption, an alternative solution. And we meet with sidewalk counselors all over the country, working to get the word out that adoption is a viable option.
That's so wonderful. I just bought mine this week, my pro-life plate. I'm so excited. And I actually have a pro-life flag as well. Can you tell us about the pro-life flag and what it symbolizes so our audience knows?
The national flag was a contest, a March for Life and Students for Life and all put out the word. We had over 600 applicants. They narrowed it down to one, and this is it. It's 2 babies' feet, a boy and a girl. It's held by the mother's hands, and it's the universal symbol to plant our flag that we are pro-life. It's important that we are out there and talking about it and letting people know that we're proud. Just like these people are proud they've had abortions, we're proud to be pro-life.
Absolutely. And have you seen this take off?
It's taking
quickly?
off. You'll see it in a lot of pictures. It's always at the Supreme Court now. It's showing up. There'll be a lot of them here at the march, I'm sure. I went to take it to buses for the various churches in Northern Virginia, and a lot of them already had theirs. Yeah, so
That's so wonderful.
that this is going to take off.
That's so great. And you can also buy bumper stickers, right?
By bumper stickers, there's also a little sticker for the back of your phone and cover. There's face masks. Hopefully we won't be using those much longer, although it would improve my image. And anything we can do to get people talking about the pro-life cause on a regular basis. That's what we're all about. And you do so well. Thank you so much for all the information that you provide.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for all you do, and thanks so much for being a beacon of hope for a lot of people on the road.
There are 18,000 kids that are in foster care ready to be adopted. I urge people to take a look at becoming a foster parent and working your way into an adoption. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thanks for your time. Thank you so much. Well, the speakers behind me are continuing. We have quite a lineup today, actually. We have Reverend Pat Mahoney. We have the people from Stanton International. We have Dr. Michael New. So we'll try to bring some of them over so you can hear from them personally. Did you see anyone else you knew around here, Alejandro, or what do you have to say about like the young people that you've seen?
Oh, it's actually really exciting because I see a lot of my people, especially from my generation, who are like in the 20s or, you know, their teens, just hitting the very end of it, the 19, 18-year-olds around there. And one thing that I like to see is we are the pro-life generation. And it's extremely thrilling because, you know, I see a bunch of different people who are liberals in my generation, such as when I went to the Loyola Marymount protest, and then there was counter-protesters who were liberals and shouting at us, and these were Catholic students too, Danielle, and it was just very surprising because you don't expect that at a Catholic school, but then again, it's a Jesuit-run school, so you don't really expect it to be Catholic, but anyways, it's a very nice turnaround to see that there are good pro-lifers as part of the generation and are very motivated to be a part of this movement. And I really would like to interview some of them and just kind of take a listen to the speakers right now. But yeah, so thank you very much for joining us. If you're just barely joining us, I'm Alejandro Rodriguez with LifeSite News, and this is Danielle Zuccaro. Say hi, Danielle.
Hi, everyone. If you're just new joining us, we are in front of one of the bigger Planned Parenthoods here in DC. On the day before the March for Life. We're out here today. We're listening to a bunch of speakers behind us who are doing a rally, and I think there will be a little bit of prayer later. And we're hoping and praying that one day this horrible place where much death takes place will one day be closed. And so we're here praying and showing our presence for any women who might be heading in there today, that we are on their side and that we're on the sides of their children. So thank you for tuning in. We're glad that you're watching along with us today. Be sure to check out our coverage tomorrow as well. The march itself begins at 1. The pre-rally begins at 12. We'll also be going live. We'll have our wonderful co-hosts, John Henry Weston and Claire Chrétien, in our home offices, and they will be anchoring with the two of us, and we'll be marching along and bringing you live coverage then as well. So pray for us and pray for the weather, because as you can see, it's rainy and it's about to turn to sleet and snow later today as well as tomorrow. So we will be bearing all of the elements, and could definitely use your prayers, especially for our equipment. So thanks so much for tuning in, though. And I wanted to see if we could maybe see one of our young people behind us. Maybe we can bring a young person on screen, but they're also kind of, 1 second.
Yeah. Yeehaw, get her done. Yeehaw, get her done.
See if we can walk a little bit.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mark. Praise the Lord for all that you've done and continue to do. So, life runners are here. Dr. Pat Castle, want to say a word?
You know, this is a very interesting Planned Parenthood because they're quite woke, and as you can see behind me, there's the large Black Lives Matter sign, which is quite ironic considering that's a large percentage of the babies that probably come in here. So it's just an interesting, ironic sign on their building. So just wanted you to notice that. They're doing some cheers. We're on live TV. Would either of you guys like to speak?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. We are from LifeSite News,
Wonderful.
and we are just doing a live stream for our audience. Why don't you tell us your name and where you're from?
Definitely. My name is Jalem DeRusso, and I'm from Omaha, Nebraska.
Wonderful. Did you come out here just for this?
For this, but I also am on staff at Students for Life of America, so I'm the Midwest Regional Coordinator. So we're all here and prepped for the march and for our Pro-Life Summit on Saturday.
Wonderful, wonderful. What have you seen working with students? I'm very familiar with your work. What have you seen in terms of the response in the Midwest on campuses?
Definitely. It's kind of shocking because a lot of our public schools in the Midwest, despite the very conservative states we are in, a lot of students tend to be more pro-choice, especially at those public school campuses. But I definitely think that there's a real passion for the pro-life movement, especially with the Dobbs case coming out in June. I mean, it's been wonderful to see, and I think that a lot of students are really understanding the reality of what we're about to face, right? The end of potentially Roe v. Wade, right? What we've been talking about for years, what we've been prepping for years, but it's, coming to fruition. And a lot of our groups, I mean, it's been really different because our groups have had to mobilize in ways that they've never had to before. And I think it's really kind of changed the outlook, but I think it's been very good. And I think we're going to continue to see pro-lifers stand up for their beliefs and really come into the movement and have like a heart and passion for just saving as many lives as possible.
And how many students, did you bring students from the Midwest here today or tomorrow?
So there are going to be students from the Midwest, lots of them. I know like one of my groups out in Kearney is bringing over 200 students. One of my groups, Benedictine College, is bringing, I think, 300-400 students. So large, wonderful groups of students, and I'm just excited to see all of them and everyone else that's coming out here.
That's so wonderful. Well, our team will also be at your Pro-Life Summit on Saturday. So do you have any preview things about that?
Definitely. If you're coming to the Pro-Life Summit, if you don't have a vaccine, just be ready to get tested because we will have testing available, and then just bring open hearts and open minds because we're ready to help you be prepared, especially as we prep for, the end of Roe v. Wade and the end of Doe v. Bolton. And it's going to be, I think, one of our most exciting years because we're really kind of celebrating the end of Roe v. Wade and what that's going to look like.
And just so our audience is aware, what exactly is the Pro-Life Summit?
Definitely. So the Pro-Life Summit is from the kind of the successor of the Students for Life National Conference, which was the largest youth pro-life conference in the world. Now we host it with Heritage Foundation, Live Action, Alliance Defending Freedom. So we have the National Pro-Life Summit, which is going to have thousands of people come together this year at the Omni Shoreham Hotel in DC. For just a day of pro-life training. You'll hear from people like our president, Kristen Hawkins. Former Vice President Mike Pence is going to be one of the keynote speakers. Missy Stone from Reprotection. I mean, we're having some wonderful people in the pro-life movement that are coming to just share their knowledge and share how that people can get involved to really be equipped to defend life, especially in the new era that we're going to be entering soon.
And especially on the college campus and in the high schools where Planned Parenthood is very much infiltrating.
Exactly. I mean, and that's why Students for Life, we do what we do. I mean, middle school on up, all the way up through medical school and young professionals. It's right. This movement's not just for, one group of people. We all really have to be equipped and ready to stand for our beliefs, and that's one reason that we do what we do, and that's one reason we love working with all of the wonderful organizations we get to work with, because it really does make a difference on those college campuses, especially where it's ground zero, where Planned Parenthood is every day trying to share, what the abortion lobby does, right? Sell abortions and use women for profit. So by being able to get in there and share, what natural law principles tell us, and the fact that science backs up the fact that life begins at conception, and that, our founding in natural law and then just moral and philosophical beliefs really should support this pro-life position. So being able to do that every day is absolutely wonderful, and I couldn't ask for anything more.
Wonderful. Well, thanks so much for speaking with our audience, and it was very nice to meet you, and best of luck for the summit coming up and your continued work on campuses in the Midwest. Thank you. Thanks so much. Well, Alejandro, so anyway, I just wanted to mention quickly, as he was saying about the, the infiltration of Planned Parenthood, we recently actually there's a Life Funder up on our page. Lifefunder.com is our crowdfunding platform at LifeSite News. And we actually just did a video with a woman who created an app which is supposed to counter the Planned Parenthood app. The Planned Parenthood app is called, what is it?
It's called Rue.
Rue, the Rue app, that's right. So they get this app into children's hands, because everyone has devices now. And, Planned Parenthood is not only infiltrating like curriculum and school boards and stuff like that, but now they're on people's devices. So children as young as like 8 or 9 or 10 are learning sex education from an app called the Rue app, and Planned Parenthood runs it. And it's actually it's a robot on the other. So basically what happens is children can ask a question, if they're questioning things regarding sexuality or whatever. They ask their questions to this app, and on the other side of the app is a robot actually who's answering back the questions, but it's all put out and funded by Planned Parenthood. So it's quite dangerous, and parents really need to be aware. So this woman in Florida created, or is in the process of creating, an alternative app, which the name escapes me. Thank you. He's my sidekick. My Mentor is what it's called. So check out our Life Funder, where we actually have a video with Tim Jackson, our LifeSite staffer, and he's interviewing the woman who created this app, which is supposed to counter or be, the counter to the Rue app that Planned Parenthood puts out. So the My Mentor app is an app where real people are on the other side, and if people have questions about these different things, there's actually someone, or if they're considering an abortion, there's actually a person on the other side who can give them tangible resources in their area, counseling if they need it. They've noticed that the people on the Rue app actually have a lot of like mental illnesses, or there might be children who are like suicide inclined perhaps. So the people on the My Mentor app is supposed to try to be a live person and a real resource for children, and a safe resource. That's the thing. I think a lot of the things that we realize is that Planned Parenthood really is, they try to be all good and safe and pure. But in the end, really they are a huge threat to our children, and they're infiltrating the schools and the curriculum at younger and younger years.
And really, Danielle, if you don't mind, yeah, I was just going to say, because we were talking about it last night with our health correspondent, Anne-Marie Schreiber. We were talking about the My Mentor app and the necessity for sidewalk counseling, because a lot of the women who go to get abortions are usually minors in high school, or just 17 or 18-year-olds, where you're barely an adult and you kind of don't really understand the world yet, and you're too immature to have sex at that time. But that's what Planned Parenthood feeds off of. They feed off of sexual immaturity. They feed off of the vulnerability of minors and 18-year-olds who are not really certain of themselves yet, and they tell them it's okay to want to have sex, it's okay to have sexual intercourse at an early age. It's okay to do all of that, and you shouldn't be ashamed of that. But the thing is that they don't really care about the well-being of a child. They don't care about 18-year-olds. All they care about is that they make money, and all they care about is that they take these children out of these women's bodies and they sell them for profit. I mean, that's awful, isn't it?
Yeah, no, definitely. So this is a fantastic app, the My Mentor app. The woman is Christian. I mean, I'm sure that it's totally a Christian operation. But you can go on to our Life Funder and you can actually donate to it, and that will help her get the necessary funding so that this can go live this year, which I think it's in the final stages. So that would be a great way to put your pro-life beliefs into action by donating to this Life Funder, which is a great contrast to the Planned Parenthood app that's out there.
Yeah. If you folks are just joining us, that gentleman you just saw there is our video producer, Jim Hale. And if you're joining us, I'm Alejandro Rodriguez with LifeSite News, and this is Danielle Zuccaro.
And I'm Danielle Zuccaro, and we're here in front of the Planned Parenthood in Washington, D.C. We're having a rally and prayer vigil in objection to this Planned Parenthood, which is killing our precious babies for profit. So we're out here today to make a stand on the day before the March for Life, and it is chilly and rainy, and it's about to snow, but we are bearing it, and it's a good day.
Yeah, I mean, look at how many people are here in spite of the cold. I mean, there has to be like at least 100 people who are here already. And, you know, and it's like 30 degrees. So I'm from California, folks. I'm the West Coast correspondent. And imagine me out here in D.C. and coming from like 60-degree weather, which is what we consider cold, and us being out here in 30 degrees. We're ready to become icicles. But nothing to worry about. We're out here, and you know, we're here with the warmth of God and the warmth of the Holy Spirit. So continue supporting us through give.lifesitenews.com. Did you, Danielle? You're the donor giving coordinator, or Sustain Life coordinator, I should say. So tell us a little bit more about where the donations go.
Yeah, that's a great question. So your donations truly do enable us to be out here, and to have now over 60 staff around the world. And truly around the world. We actually just did the stats. We're in 9 different countries, and I believe it's 5 different continents, which is pretty amazing and outstanding. We've grown rapidly. I've been here 3.5 years, and we've grown, I'd say, almost double since that amount of time. So it's incredible. So anyway, your donations really allow us to be able to travel, to have good equipment, like the fancy equipment, which you can't see, but I can see in front of me. But it's quite nice equipment, which allows you to get high quality coverage of things, and to allow many of our staff to be out here with a good presence. And I know probably many of you will be out here tomorrow marching. And if you see us, please stop and say hello. Maybe we can take a selfie. That would be cool. And but we'll be spread out throughout the march. So that's what the great part about having many of us here is that we can be kind of throughout the march, and we'll have 2 teams of people actually bringing live coverage. So that'll be great. And then you'll see John Henry at the home studio and in Canada, and Claire Chrétien in the U.S., and she'll be our lead anchor for the U.S. tomorrow. Yeah. So, yeah, but the donations really are a fantastic support of our work, our pro-life mission, bringing you up-to-date and important news. I oversee the Sustain Life program, which is our monthly giving program. Our monthly givers really allow us to do, you know, month in and month out, all the different work that we do, and to look ahead to the future with confidence. So monthly giving is critically important, and we really, really are grateful for all of our sustainers who are our monthly givers. So, yeah, but we're very grateful.
Yeah. Talk about the sustainer segment that you do with John Henry every Friday.
Yeah. So the Sustain Life program has a few perks that if you join as a monthly donor, you get some perks of the program, including you get a lot of behind-the-scenes access to our team and to our news coverage. You sometimes get breaking news ahead of people, like the day before it breaks. And then we just released a new Sustainer segment, which some of you may have seen, which is a show that I do on Fridays with John Henry. And he answers questions from our sustainers, our monthly donors. So if you'd like to submit a question to him, you can become a sustainer at give.lifesitenews.com www.untitled.org/sustain life. And that will give you access to submitting your questions. We always welcome your questions. And we do that bi-weekly. So be sure to send us your questions, and I will ask John Henry for you on the show.
That's really exciting because we didn't have that before when our family became donors, Danielle. But, now that we kind of interact with John Henry on a regular basis, it's like, oh, well, we don't need to ask him any questions. We could just send him a message, and then he'll be able.
Hey everyone, this is LifeSite's behind-the-scenes operator Walter Willits. Unfortunately, due to the rain, it seems our gear may have gotten soaked in the wrong ways. And so, because of the technical difficulties, we're going to have to end the stream right now. If you stuck around during this, our live stream will return shortly graphic. We appreciate it, but that is all we have live streaming today. They are currently working on shooting other coverages that will be edited and posted later today and tomorrow. And of course, we'll have the main live stream for the March for Life happening tomorrow. And that should go live around noon or 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. Which of course will have accompanying blog posts and articles, the usual procedure. So once again, thank you for watching this. We're going to go ahead and conclude the stream. And keep an eye out for other content that we put out today and tomorrow. Thank you very much. God bless.